under the spotlight today for the interview, the one and only. And boy, you don't know singer or DJ. Well, you're a big time singer back then, but so many people. You talk to Earl Moodie. Yo, I'm on there legend. I'm on there this. I'm on there that. Earl Moodie, good
How are
afternoon to
you?
you. I am fine. How are you?
I'm good, boss. I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, listen. You know, one thing I can say. People cannot talk about reggae in America. There are two names that must come up. Must come up if you talk about reggae in America. Lloyd Barnes, Bulwacky,
Yes.
or Earl Moodie. If you don't call them name there, you don't know the history of reggae in America. You understand what I'm saying?
That is true. That is true, bro.
You
That
you
is true.
you cannot talk reggae if you don't mention Light Barnes and Earl Moodie.
Affectionately known as Wackies, you know? Yeah.
Bullwacky, Bullwacky. Hey, listen, I'm gonna take you back. You know I'm a history buff. I'm gonna take
Yeah.
you back a little. I came to New York in January 1973. By the summer of 1973, I found out a local record store right between 218 and 219 Street named Brad's Records.
Yes.
And I used to get my local $5 allowance from my grandmother. Every Saturday, me get
Yeah.
my $5 allowance. I used to sneak into Brad's every Saturday. And you know who used to serve me at Brad's? You know who used to play the
Movies.
record? Movies. You were maybe about 20, 21 at the time.
I didn't even reach 20 yet.
You didn't reach
Yeah.
20 yet.
No.
But you know, Earl, there was a trick.
Yeah.
As I grew older, record was like what, 75 cents, 76 cents. You remember when it was
It was about that 75 cents. Then it went to
75 cents?
125. Yeah, then it went to 125. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
When I started,
Yeah.
it was before it went into the dollar.
Yeah.
Earl, I will get my $5. I'm coming to brother. I'm say me I buy two records, cause me have to go to the movies or it's my allowance for the week. And you, Earl, will just throw out the tune them. You had a big speaker at the front of the place. I have a big
Yeah.
speaker at the back. And when those two speakers hit you, for me, the drum roll. Okay, give me a one there. Okay, give me that. Sometimes me done me $5 and me still need more tunes. What's the
Well, it's the instinct that we had, to our play music because we had this ideology that we weren't selling records, we were selling music.
mm-hmm.
And if you come from that idea that you're selling music, you put forward the best music that you could put forward to end the customer, and them end up get themselves in trouble. You understand?
Yeah, I was one. But
All
did
right.
you design the sound? Because when you go home with your record, it never sound like what you heard in the shop. Was it designed to sound that way in the shop?
Well, it's the equipment that was used in the shop at the time, and then on the other side now where when we play the American music, what we did with the turntable, we crossed the wire so it had a little reverb on it. So
Oh
when
man!
when you went home and played on your own set, you can get that
You
reverb. You understand?
oh that was a sneaky trick. That was a mean
Yeah,
trick, Earl. So
yeah,
it was rigged for you to buy the record.
yeah. But then again, reggae music was coming into its own at that time. I
Right,
mean,
right.
it was always there still, because from the time growing up as a little kid in Jamaica and being exposed to, first of all, it was quadrille when I was going to school,
Mm-hmm.
and then mento music, and then it evolved from mento to ska.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, I remember I used to go Papi in school, myself and Downbeat, we were great friends, me and
Oh,
him. So,
really? From them
yeah,
time there?
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Downbeat. I know him as everybody know him as Downbeat. I know him as Anthony Rookwood.
Right.
You
That
understand?
that is real
And
name.
he was a prefect in our class. Well dressed guy. You know what I mean?
Don't
Them
beat.
time them father was in America and the music, so we're the best best khaki come school.
Cover
You remember
school.
we the local one with them out in
Right,
Jamaica.
right,
Been
right.
close, they stepped down from the United States. Anyway, um, we used to live by Papi, myself and my mom, you know, my salary,
Mm-hmm.
and my aunt who grew me up more than anybody else, affectionately known as Auntie Gwen,
Mm-hmm.
and my grandmother, Mama
Mm-hmm.
Hilda. We go up right down in a tavern there, and then up by Papi, and yeah, this man named Mr. Manert. Him they do most of the business on the avenue,
Mm-hmm.
and he had the sound system where they used to play like almost Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So my aunt used to sometimes take us up there to hear the music. And I remember the first time we get exposed to listen to some ska. I mean, it's like you get lost away because based on how the music was at that time, and as you know, the Jamaican scene whereby we were getting fed, it was just radio fusion, That was
Right, right, right.
the audio of the day. So most of the time, all you heard was the foreign music, them. So when you go to some other place now, you start hear the scatting. I start realizing, even as a little kid, that you see, all music was just as good as anything that they put forward
True,
on this
true,
planet.
true, true, true. So that's where you got your start then in your love for music.
My love for music, yes, yes,
When you
definitely,
when you came to the States, right? I,
yeah.
I know by reading up and talking to you over the years, you started to you took up singing. You were with a band in the Bronx. What band was that, and how did
Yeah,
that get?
well, I was seeing from in Jamaica
You
when
were
I
doing
came
it
up
in
here.
Jamaica. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and but by the time we got a chance to started to record, we're supposed to do some recording for Upsetter.
Mhm.
I got the chance to come to the United States to go to school, and I took that opportunity. I came here, but while going to school, a friend of mine named Herman Thompson said that he knew of a band in the Bronx that was looking for a singer.
Mhm.
So I went up there and did an interview and, was able to join the band. The name of the band at that time was Dynamites. They had changed their name afterwards to the Stepping Stones.
Ah, stepping
In that
stones.
band,
Yes.
in that band was Cornel Silvera. Denver Silvera was the engineer. And a good friend of yours too, who is the biggest distributor of reggae music right now, Tad Dawkins. He was a
You
drummer in that band.
what
Yeah,
on? That was it. That was in the band. I didn't know
yeah,
that.
man. Dad was a drummer singer in the band also too. You understand?
But you
And
remember Silvera Denver? Is that the same guy? Jamusa? Is he a radio guy
same
now?
guy, same guy, same guy. His uncle is or his uncle. Well, his uncle passed away now. His uncle was Noel Silvera, who eventually became the Minister of Justice out there
Yeah, yeah, I
in
remember that
Jamaica.
name.
You know,
So you're saying you, Jamusa, and Tad were in a band together, Earl?
they were in a band. And Cornel
Stepping
Silvera was the
Stones.
bass player. You know,
You're kidding me.
yeah.
But
Yes, so we were with the band for about good 7, 8 years. We toured most of the United States and stuff. And you know, as in between that time, I think it was about 1973, 72, 73. I played up at this club at 229th Street, Bronxwood Avenue,
oh, Monterey.
Monterey. That was the hot spot at that
Yes,
time.
when I came to America, that was the hot spot.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was the hot spot.
73. You're
So
right.
upstairs they used to have on the street level. They used to bring in acts like Kool and the Gang and the Rhythm Makers, who eventually became the group named GQ.
GQ.
And then we used to play downstairs on the weekend and ram downstairs on the weekend. You understand?
In the basement.
Um,
In the
in the basement,
basement.
yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
And it was overflowing at all times. Yeah. And that's where I met. One night we played there, and I ran into a gentleman, tall guy, called himself Light Bonds, and he had a
Oh
partner
my
with him at the time.
goodness. Yes, yes,
He had
yes.
a partner with him at that time named Munchi.
Munchie. Yes, I remember Munchie.
Munchi, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Munchi was a good friend of Sleeper Upsetter,
Yeah.
So they invited us. They said they were starting a studio at our Carlisle place, and they invited us around there, and we eventually we became not just a resident band in making rhythms, but also that's where we used to rehearse.
Right,
So
right. So,
yeah,
so most of the rhythms that were made at Bulwark's then, it was by the Stepping Stones band.
it was by the Stepping Stones band. Yeah,
Uh, so
yeah.
you're saying, like, the first time they did Little Roy, Tribal War, and them tune
The
there.
Leroy Tribal War was recorded in Jamaica, you know. That I think it was Family Man and and his brother
Mm-hmm.
did that song.
Aston,
Yeah.
and Calca.
What we did to it is that the horn player in the band, Barbara Leslie,
Oh
him do
wow!
a piece of it called Tribal Horns, which became a such a big tune in Jamaica because nobody couldn't get it. You know, it was just
Right,
unique. You know.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you decided after you, well, after Brad's passed away, and then you moved up, you moved your store now to 225th Street.
Well,
Uh,
we opened our store in 1981. You know, that's
that
when
was
our
81,
store. Oh, yeah, 1981. We opened the store at 225th Street.
and,
That's
and
where
White
that's
Plains
on White Plains Road, right next door to Champion
Bakery.
Bakery.
I
Yeah.
was telling Russell earlier that you have a unique location because number one, you have sold thousands and thousands of tickets for me. You sell more tickets than any other location in New York City. More than more than you
Well,
sell more tickets more than Superpower, more than VP in Queens. Because I
well,
believe, Earl, that you had New Jersey, you had Connecticut right there. You have the best
yes.
location. Would
Well,
you
well,
agree?
that too, and it's how we dealt with people because here what happened now. As I said, we didn't go into this thing and say we're going to sell records. You know, we're going to this thing and selling music. So what we did when we opened the store there, we started carrying all kind of music, jazz, blues,
Right, right.
banjo, any kind of music that we could put our hands on. And then I surrounded myself with people who just love music
Knowledgeable,
also too.
knowledgeable
Yeah,
people.
yeah, who love the music. Philip Lawrence was one of them who started out with us. And Lorna, she started out
Yes,
with
I
us
remember
also too.
Lana,
Yeah, she
Sherry,
started out with us. Yes. And Howard Young
Howard.
started out with
Yes,
us.
yes.
Eventually, Fat
Buck.
Howard came and joined the organization, and then my brother Richard,
I'm
he
Buck.
worked along with
I'm
us
Buck.
also,
I
and
remember
and and
Buck.
the great, yeah man, the
Right,
great Buck,
Bucky.
he worked with us too. You know what I mean?
But
But all in all, we what had first of all, most of the people who had shops in New York here, when the radio thing started, most of them weren't too enthused in going on the radio. They didn't mind advertising their business place,
hmm
but they weren't enthused to get the records and play on the radio because it wasn't them who put them on.
right,
I didn't take that kind of. I always figure say if 10 music came out and you could get either Clinton or the other Jackson on the ear to play these records and just mention that it's available
at Moody's.
at the store at
Mm-hmm.
Moody's. It not only helped Moody's, but all the other stores in New York to them. So we took that, we went from that angle, and it worked for us. Whereby we started selling music from all over the world because we started getting music from Europe and stuff like that.
Right.
And it started.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah.
There are some songs. You had this thing you would call me and say, "Yo, Clinton, when you go to the studio, stop by. Me have something. You stop by." And I remember that there are two songs that whenever I hear them, Earl, you are the first man come to mind because as a matter of fact, it's not two, it's three of them. I'm gonna give you the one Saturday you call me and say you have something, but officially released, but you can't come and hear it, and you gave me it's on Capital label. It was a guy from New York. It was an R&B song.
Okay.
His name it out with. I think he did it for. I tell you, I think he did it for. Here's the song here, Moody. You called me and say, "Yo, As a matter of fact, I was going to Jamaica and you tell me say, come pick it up cause Barry G gotta be the first man to play this tune here in Jamaica. And I came down the Saturday evening, I hear the tune. Hey listen, Earl, you saw me can't go Jamaica and Barry G just play the first two lines of that tune here. You
Yeah.
should see the phone light up, it light up, it light up, it light up. What when you heard this song? What I mean, you predicted this gonna be one of the biggest tune of the year, and it ended up.
Yeah,
So, what did you
I
hear?
predicted that. Well, first of all, let me just say this here. If you listen to the bass line of that song, right, it's Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. That was it, you know. Just the
Oh,
bass line
just the
alone
bass
was
line.
Marvin Gaye, Let's Get It On. Yeah,
Yes,
you
yes,
know.
yes,
That's
yes.
one of the wickedest bass line ever recorded. You understand? And after we heard the song, you know, when we got the record at the store,
Right,
somebody sent it to us as a promo.
right.
And
That's
then
what you said. It was a promo.
yeah,
That release yet.
and then I called the guy who used to get records from, the distributor, and he told me that he was getting like, I think it was 200 copies of it in.
By
So
the
I said to
weekend.
him,
Yeah,
by the weekend. So
yeah.
I asked him to secure it for us because I know this song was going to be a runaway. You understand?
And you called me.
No, this song
You
was gonna
called
be
me and you
around.
gave me the test press or
Yeah,
the
man.
test whatever. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
man, we got it from the record company. Yes, yes, yeah, man.
and whenever there's another song that you call me the Thursday and say, yo, Clinton, before you go studio, come stop by. I mean, no, say it has to be something good. And when I came by, you said Donovan Jermaine say must give you this and must make sure you put it in my hand. Don't give it to nobody to give Clinton. Make sure you give
Yeah,
Clinton. I'm say, okay.
yeah,
And you throw on the tune and by the first drum roll, I say, all right, Earl, give me go in the studio.
yeah.
Yeah, and listen, when
That
I
is
took
the truth.
this, Earl, when I had a 2 hour show at the time,
Yeah,
although people thought it was 4 and 5 and 10 hours, but
yeah,
it was only
yeah.
2 hours. And I went to the studio and, you know, I opened that 2 hour show with this song, Earl. 18 minutes of my 2 hour when me I pay for this song I take up. 18, the first
Yeah,
18 minutes,
yeah,
it was this
yeah,
tune. And you know something,
yeah.
Earl? Later on, I asked Jermaine. Mr. Jermaine, by the way, you know all these disc jockeys in New York, and why you give Earl the tune and tell Earl to make sure Earl put it in my hand? You know what his response was, brethren?
What?
Then I who forget it? Then who else forget? He said, then I who else forgive it to?
Yeah, man.
But brethren,
German,
go ahead.
German had a good ear for music, you know.
Yeah,
Good ear for music, you
yes,
know.
yes, yes. But
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
doing
yeah, he and Gussie Clark, yeah, they both of them they had good ears for music. Cause over the year them produced some fantastic
yes.
tunes, you know.
But
Yeah.
you were doing some producing yourself. You did some real
Well,
fine
you
tune.
know, but here's what happened. Here's what happened, Clinton.
Mhm.
You know, the love for it all, you know. Not just it started from, you know, growing up, you know, as I said, we were exposed to the radio fusion thing.
Right.
And I remember I used to hear this jockey on the ear. He used to come on and call himself Old Palal Joe. And then the other disc jockey that I used to was a guy who called himself Charlie Babcock.
Charlie Babcock.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, man, the guy who called himself the Cool Fool with a live drive. And they played some fantastic songs. Later on, when we started to go to the stage shows, because by that time Desmond Decker and the Easters, you know, remember, you know, Toots used to run things down here, Toots and the Mater.
Right.
And then when Desmond Decker came on the scene, man, they created such a stir down there that, I mean, when you decide to go to a stage show, if you don't like our Christmas morning show, if you don't go early to get your ticket, you
You're
can't
out.
get in, you know, just to
Yeah,
watch.
I get
Yeah,
you.
just to watch Desmond Decker and these, because one time them at Jamaica running in such a way, you know, that everything that they came out with was hit. And the love for the music grew and it grew and it grew and it grew. And after I came here, I remember my first taste of the airwaves was WWRL on Saturday evening with
Jeff
a great
Barnes.
friend of mine called himself the Jamaica's bouncing baby boy, which was Carl
Carl
Anthony.
Anthony. Carl
Yeah, he
Anthony.
was on
He most likely listening
WWRL.
now. Hey, Carl
Yes,
Anthony,
yeah,
if you're listening, big respect to you. He's a regular
Yeah, man. He
listener.
was he was on WWRL, and then later on, the gentleman they call the cat behind the glasses. He used to be on HBI, which
WHBR.
eventually became
Double N double
WNWK.
K.
Yeah, and there came after him Gil Bailey, and but when you started your show, man, you started with such a difference, man. That not only that, it was you gave information. Even when you started doing you started doing something that I think we talk about all the time in New York here and in Jamaica about the award thing.
Oh, the
Instead
TAMIKA
of sitting
Reggae
down,
Awards.
yeah, instead of sitting down and waiting for some American giant company to give us our award, we should have started that thing a long time. And the
Right,
awards
right.
that you started, we should have kept up with it. You understand?
Yeah.
Like at this time, you know how big that
Oh,
thing would
it
be.
would have been, yeah.
Yeah, man.
But
Yeah,
brethren,
because there's
listen. You were like a location that I tell you this. You know when I used to bring the artists them to New York,
yeah, remember?
and there are two places that every artist them two places that them come out at JFK. They
Yeah,
want
so go
George to
on, go.
take them to 42nd Street because them hear about this 42nd
Yeah,
Street. They
yeah,
want
man,
to go
yeah,
on
man.
42nd Street. You know when the other place they want to go and then wake up next day they want to go?
Moody's.
Mood. What the heck? What was it about Moody's that every artist will come to
It was the
America?
vibes. It was the vibes. Believe you me, and we were very musical. It was the vibes, and they came up there and they they were able to hang out and learn a lot about music because we never just keep it down to just playing what was the order of the day. I
Hmm.
mean, you walk into the store at any time, you could have seen a Johnny Osborne.
That's right.
Um,
Right.
Tiger used to hang out there. Matter of
Yes.
fact, Tiger used to be there every day, and he at one point he bought a couple of bicycles to go back to Jamaica, and it's at the store the bikes were left. You understand me?
Right, right,
And
right.
so all of the artists them came through there. Every artist that you could think of, and when they come in there, we introduce them to music. Not only that, we introduce them to all jazz. You know,
I,
trying to elevate them that
but
you have to
Earl,
get to all kind of stuff. Yeah,
Earl, you will have album. I remember two artists that they have never seen their albums until they came to into Moody's. One was Admiral Bailey. He heard
yeah,
he had an album out. He have never seen
yeah.
it. As a matter of fact, the first time he came in, he got a copy of the album and he just walk around with it for that day. Because he just walk around because he heard of it and he said, boy, boss, me used to me have the album. And another person was Lieutenant Stitchy.
Yeah, man, Lieutenant, if you remember him
Yeah,
too.
he
Yes,
first,
yes,
he
yes, yes,
is in your store. He saw his album for the first time.
yes,
But what I was gonna say to you earlier though is that
yeah.
you produce some decent tracks.
Whoever you're gonna produce, you have a connection with them, and you know, myself and the singer was
Owen
we
Gray.
were good friends. Yeah, the great Owen Gray, and up to now they have not awarded him nothing. He's
Yes,
about 8 years old now, still
we
living in
talk
England,
about that. We
and
talk about
and
that.
he should have gotten an award from a long time. And, I don't only count against everybody else who get them award, but people like Owen Gray should have
Yeah
gotten an
man,
award
slackness
long
that.
time because he's a great singer. But
Mm.
he used to come by the store and we had a connection, and we decided the song was already out, and we came with this idea that we could do it in such a way that it would make people dance.
Right, right, right.
So I contacted the late great Philip Smart, and went by the studio, got the musicians together, and we did the song, and believe you me, man, it came out.
Number one.
It
It
came
was
out great, man. Yeah.
alright, here's
And
another go ahead.
the harmonies you hear there was done by Anicia Banks. She's the
Yes.
same
Nice.
young lady who did This Love for on the Moody's label. Fantastic singer. Clinton, you could think that we did love music so much, that what we used to do at the height of when this thing was really fired up. We were remember the store used to open Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 24 hours.
Yes,
We didn't
yes,
close.
yes, yes.
We
Ca-
didn't close.
1 o'clock, you man out there play music and sell music same way. But let me ask
See,
you, with the changing
mm,
of what going on now, I was saying it earlier. You're like the last man standing when everybody is close up and the vinyl
no,
thing.
but you see, here's what I'm. It's like I tell you this funny thing, the first time that I saw, I remember we were rehearsing one evening, and the news came through that boy Bob Marley they had just released the Natty Dread album,
Hmm.
and they say it was gonna be at Central Park,
Yes, yes, yes.
and we decided so we was gonna go down there maybe about 7 o'clock because we never want to go down there too early. Boy Clinton, you see when we reached down there, we couldn't enter the park. White people stand up here, climb up in the trees to see Bob Marley.
Mm-mm.
That's when we know the reggae gone. You understand?
Right,
At
right.
that point, we know that reggae gone, and to the point where Max Romeo did all a play on Broadway called Reggae on
Reggae
Broadway.
and Broadway,
But
yes.
the reason why I brought that to this now, there's nothing wrong with the music, and the music don't go nowhere now. But part of the problem is that sometimes a lot of us have this tendency of throwing down our arms and run.
Hmm.
After Bob Marley went up to the mountaintop, see over there, and his demise, I think what happened is most of the musicians and singers them, for some reason, throw down them arms. You understand?
Hmm.
And then a lot of them had left the country. You understand? So there were no elders there who really knew about music, how to play it properly and stuff
Right,
like that to
right.
teach young youth them. So that most of them start do this thing what them call doting.
The
You understand?
the
And
computer
as you
rhythm.
know, yeah, the computer rhythm. Nothing wrong with adding because adding a little bit of it to it because if you listen back to Bob Marley early album, Natty Dread, there was some computerized stuff in it, but they did that also too with the traditional instruments.
Right, right,
Nothing wrong with that.
right.
What had happened to us after the 80s is that we started following this new deal that came about whereby the CDs took the market. Jamaica, who used to press most records than anywhere else on this planet, all of a sudden we start press records. You understand?
Mm.
Because we figure that the business is done.
Right,
Business them are
right,
done.
right.
And and if you check back what's happening right now in Brooklyn, you don't have a Caribbean record shop in Brooklyn, but you have a whole record shop in Brooklyn that's opening up all about the place.
But
Not
but
by
but
us.
Earl, but you survive all of that transition and all that changes. I mean, what are you saying? You stuck with the vinyl? Cause the picture that I
Well,
see now,
we
it
stuck
was
with we stuck with everything, not just the vinyl, with CD and everything, because we say music we say. You understand? We
right,
never did just this thing just turn a dollar and that because in everything what you're doing on Clinton, they're gonna be hard times and rough times,
right, right,
They're
right.
gonna be hard times. So it bears to see, you know, uh, how you can dig down into your guts and hold on. Mark you, a
Right.
lot of friends and family as come forward and help us out during the years, during the meantime.
Right,
You
right,
understand what I'm saying?
right, right, right.
But we always say music come first.
The music come
You
first.
understand? That was important thing.
You play in my career as a radio man, as a promoter and everything. You play such an important role because when I leave my tickets them and me not get a call say, yo, Clinton, bring another 500. I know my show is in trouble. when,
Well,
when me leave a 200 ticket there Monday and me not get a call Friday, I say, oh shucks, you Moody's sells tickets, no doubt
well,
about it.
the part of the reason why we used to sell so much tickets, for yourself and a lot of promoters, is that
Every promoter.
whenever they just leave, whenever Clinton leave tickets, whenever they just leave it for Clinton, tell people on his show that we're carrying tickets for his
Right,
party
sure, right,
or whatever show he was putting on. Every single person who walked through Moody's records knew that Clinton Lindsay was going to have who was on the show, and we have tickets. We make sure that we did
I,
our part
I you have
also.
your big flyers by the door. You have a big
And we have the big flyers
flyers
them
at
on
the
the
door.
door. and we don't stop tell people about it. You
Nice.
understand me?
Yes,
And
yes.
if we go on anybody show, we tell people about it too. Sometimes the other jocks them use of excess, but that was part of it. We always say, look, we're building something here,
Right.
It's not about what you think about yourself, it's about us, because this is our music. You understand?
Right, right. No, no, I owe you a lot. One of the biggest shows I've ever done. David Levy this dancehall show Friday evening at the this hotel in Manhattan.
Yeah,
Right? And
yeah,
I leave you like 500 tickets on the Monday.
yeah,
Um and then Wednesday you call and say you want another 1,000.
yeah.
Me send the 1,000 come. Then Friday evening, no, you call me and tell me you want 2,000 tickets. I said, no, Earl,
Yeah,
that's not
yeah,
possible. And I said to David, I said, David, you cannot give Earl another 2,000 because the place Sheridan Ballroom. It was at the
yeah,
Sheridan Ballroom,
yeah,
and you alone sold
yeah,
3,000 tickets in a
yeah, man.
week and a half.
Yeah, because that's what we did. We not just did carry the tickets, and when people walk through the store, we used to go all over the bakery, stand up inside, stand up outside there, and tell people
You have
that we are
tickets
carrying
for the big
tickets for the
show.
show.
You have tickets
For
for
the
the big
show, yeah.
show.
You understand? Give out flyers and stuff like. In other
Yes,
words, we became a part of it also too.
yes,
You
yes,
know,
yes, yes.
you know,
No, and
and
I
that's
tell
what happened with the music. The music is not dead, nothing wrong with the music, The part of it is that we don't play the music. God, remember now, there's a source. The source of the music is where the foundation of it is in Jamaica.
mm-hmm.
Most of the youth them don't do in Jamaica right now. Don't even know what name ska anymore, because they don't play it. You understand? Bob Marley just said one time, that ska should never did ever stop playing. They should have kept recording it and selling it.
I said
Just like how you have blues and jazz.
right.
Blues, look how long blues and jazz came on. You still have people who are doing, young kids now who are making blues album and jazz album.
Right.
You understand?
But
You understand me?
let me ask you though, like the current stuff, you like the current stuff now that's out on CD and whatever else them call it. Hardly I get CD now, thumb drives and the rest of it.
Well, whichever format they put it on. Here's me with the current stuff now.
Uh huh.
Remember, we say reggae, just like how the American man say funk
Mm-hmm.
and R&B. So we say reggae. Now, with what they're doing, them kind of throw one side the reggae business and they call it dancehall. Even though we know say it's not dancehall, because dancehall was the dancehall feed was like Johnny Clark, Lindsay Thompson. Them
Right.
think they are dancehall music.
Right.
You understand me?
Have a
Anyway,
different meaning. Mm-hmm.
yeah, you understand. Them call what their version of what they're doing dancehall. So okay, when you have artists like Popcorn or Cartel,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who talk on those rhythms,
Right.
right? If you take out them voice, what kind of music you have? If it's just the music playing, do you know where that music is from?
Mm.
No, you
Good
can't
question.
identify
You
it
can't
at all.
identify, right?
You understand? The identification is gone. So we need to get back to start playing our brand of music. You understand?
Right.
You want to speed it up straight on and do whatever you want to
Whatever.
do with it.
Let,
You understand?
let,
But you have to leave that marker in it where say it's our
Every time
music.
music.
You understand? Whether the voice in there, yes, sir. That's the reason why when we used to make right up to Channel One days and jokes and stuff, they were able to all come up with the thing with them called double album, because even the tune them without the voice tonight, we know say
right,
you understand what I'm saying?
right. But let me
And I
ask you
think
this
that's
though. Let me ask you
uh-huh.
this. Like a current album, like say the Buju Banton album. If I want it in vinyl, can I come to Moody's and get it in vinyl?
It's going to be available, I think, next week on vinyl. Right now we have it on CD, and I tell you something funny. It's one of the biggest selling CDs that I've had for quite a while.
Upside down.
And yeah, man. And then there's this other project with an artist named Chesedek.
Chesedek. Hello Africa.
That was produced by Tad Dawkins,
Yes.
my brethren,
Yes,
from
yes.
the days of the band.
Yes.
Fantastic CD.
Very good. I interviewed
and
him
also
sometime.
Richie Spice album too is a fantastic CD also too.
So when they put them out on vinyl, you will eventually get them. So if somebody
Yes,
if
yes,
someone prefers vinyl, they
yes,
call you up and
yeah.
find out when you get them.
Yeah, because vinyl didn't really stop selling. Just that we in Jamaica we stopped pressing. And
That is
then what had happened is that the pressing plants over here, some of them had kind of shuttered themselves.
Right,
Then they
right.
find out that there's a market. So the ones them that survive, when you want to get something pressed now, you have to wait out 6 months to get something pressed.
Right, right.
There's so much backlog, you understand, in it, that
But
you have to wait 6 months to get
you,
pressing. Yeah.
Moody's is also very popular abroad. I remember so many times, like 4 or 5 Japanese or German would just come and just buy a stack of vinyl. Just buy
Yeah, man.
vinyl. That's still happening?
Yeah, man. Them still come and patronize the store and still come and they take pictures and they're in awe at the Moody's name. But here's what happened. You see light bonds.
Mm-hmm.
Light bonds were so big in Japan.
In Japan. He
But
started it.
I'm sure I know that somehow the members that we're associated with them.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever they walk into the store, and they ask me about light bonds, it's like they're talking about royalty.
Sugar Miner was a
Trust
little
me.
god over there.
Yeah, man.
Remember
Like they're
Sugar
talking
Miner
about
and
royalty.
Bulwaki?
Yeah.
They were like gods in Japan.
Yeah, man. I remember I had some customers came here one time, and I made a call to Light, and he came down to the store here.
Mm-hmm.
And when Waki walked through the door, if you see the Japanese bow before him like
Yeah,
he
man.
was a
Hey,
king.
listen,
Yeah,
brethren,
you know what I
I
mean?
tell this to
Yeah,
people
man.
all the while, and they believe, the Barrington Levy and them, man, they bring reggae to Japan. But when we try to
No,
educate
man.
them,
No, man.
no,
No,
man.
man. No, 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 man.
Long
No, man.
before
No, man.
Barrington,
No, man.
long,
Yeah, man. Yeah,
long
man. Way
before Barrington.
before, man.
Hey, listen,
Yeah,
another
man.
thing I have to thank you for, and, we only have another minute to go.
Yeah.
You would, whosoever running the store, if it's Lana or Cheryl or whosoever running the store, you will let them know how important it is when I call to get my top 10 list.
Yes.
You remember
Yes.
that?
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
why,
Yes.
why did you
That
see
was
the
one of the main
importance
things.
in that? Why did you see the importance? I would call on a Thursday afternoon, and whatever them doing, them already have my list, the top 10 songs them, and you make sure them have that ready. Why did you see that as important?
Well, it was very important because if you check back here, let me just say this to you. During the course of the week, all Caribbean nationals in the New York area
Mm.
set out to buy them food thing on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So during the course of the week, them start write down that they're going to need pigtail, they're going to need this, they're going
Right,
to need
right,
that,
right,
oxtail, or whatever
right.
on the weekend. Well, I look at music the same way, right? You know so well then it's important that you give Mr. Lindsay the top 10 report that he has it because people tune in to hear what song was playing, what number it was on the chart. You see, and as them hear that, if the store opens 7 o'clock in the morning, they're there to buy it because they don't know if there's enough copies that them can get
Ah,
at the end of the day.
I hear you.
You know what I mean?
The other
Yeah.
locations, when I call, they would like, oh, what is it? Give me another 15 minutes.
No, man.
Give me
No,
another.
man.
Call me
No,
back
man.
later because they
No,
would forget.
no,
The
man.
only place when me
No,
call, Cherry say, hold on,
man.
hold on, Clayton, hold on. And she go in at the corner wherever she goes because the
Yeah,
music
man.
can play.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
will have my top 10. You will be the
yeah, man.
first person I call because I know once I call me, I get my top 10 from you and then we move
Yeah,
on to
man.
the rest of them.
Yeah, man.
I thank you
Well,
very much.
music and we're in business of music, and I want to thank you, Brother Clinton, and thanks for the little talk that you afforded us, you know what I mean, and all the accolades that you over the years that you have afforded us, boss. And I just want to say a thank you to everybody that supported and still supported Moody.
Notice, yes,
I
sir.
want to send a shout out to Lorna. She's now in Florida.
Hi,
Rose,
Lana.
who is now in Florida, and
Rose,
Sandra.
yes.
Yeah.
Tracy.
All of those nice people, yeah, man. All of those nice people were a part of the Moody's,
Right.
And Clinton, I can't say enough about you. Trust me. I can't say
Hey,
enough
listen,
about
like I said, I first met you when I was 17, and you used to rig the sound, forget my $5 every Saturday. I would go. You know what my grandmother said to me, and this is what I start doing. I would when I went into the store and done my $5, I would go back. I mean, Mom, I want to go to the movie, lend me a tuna. She said, me not give you
Yeah.
five. What happened to your allowance? She said, when I'm
Yeah.
going in, change the money and carry in $2 or $3, whatever I can
Yeah.
afford to
Yeah.
spend. Don't take
Yeah.
all $5 in there because you're not coming out with a dime. Thank you very
Yeah.
much, Moody.
Because we used to have people coming to the store and cuss and go on, after them we add them up and then pay. Some of them say they're not coming back to the store because we make them spend off some rent money.
Spend off well, me never have no rent money to spend. But me spend off my allowance, brethren, and in them days
Yeah.
there, yeah, I get
Yeah.
$5 a whole heap of money
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, Earl, I'm getting
Yes, sir.
people are saying they love what they're hearing. It's a New York
Yeah.
history, and thanks for sharing
Yeah.
your portion of the history, brethren. And good
Yeah.
luck, continue doing what you're doing, and thanks for everything that you have done for me. Cause
Clinton, I won't say this still. I know the people in Florida not gonna let you go still. Who are you back in New York, man?
well, I'm in New York. I'm on I'm on I'm on two stations in New York right now. I'm on Red Hat Radio in Brooklyn. They are hearing you right
Yeah.
now. And
Yeah.
I'm on Linkage Radio in Bronx, Mount Vernon, and those areas. So
Yeah.
I'm
Link
back a
is a
little
good friend
bit.
of mine. Sir. Link is nice.
Yeah,
Nice,
man.
nice youth.
I'm
Nice youth.
I'm back a little way, but not 100%. But whatever you can take, you take. All right,
All right, Clinton.
Earl. When I come to New York, I'm gonna stop by because I haven't been to the new location yet. I'm
All
gonna
right,
stop
good,
by.
good.
You take care, my brother.
Yeah, yeah, good.
Ah,
Take it easy.
respect.